Here we are, everybody, for our weekly Facebook Live about our upcoming conference. And I'm here with Yellow Girl, our conference director.
So excited. I'm super excited. We're going to be doing another event together and virtually. So many of you that are asking for Proclaim to be virtual. This is going to be just over the top amazing. And we can't wait to start telling you about it in the coming weeks.
Yes, yes, yes. So we just wanted to do a few little tidbits on the Proclaim conference because we saw so many amazing just transformations in the women that stepped out and said, I'm going to come to this because I feel like God is telling me to come, and how God met these women with, they took a step and he just swooped right in, and it was glorious.
It was amazing. It was such a fun time together to see everyone in person and then to see what God did through all of us. Even the people on faculty, like God does not miss our hearts and our opportunities. And so it's been fun to watch all the things that were happening on Facebook and what you're doing. Back today, I saw a post by Patty Davis. It was a video, so you need to go on the Proclaim. Well, you're a part of the Proclaim, it's in the private page, and see what she had to say. But she was talking about how she always thought when she was blogging, she had to make these really long blogs and make it, very in depth. And she walked away from the conference, probably took Christina Custodio's workshop on microblogging and realized that microblogging is a thing, and she doesn't have to do these long, elaborate posts. And so she was talking about how she's a photographer, and so she takes pictures, and those pictures give her inspiration. And so she takes those photos and adds inspiration to them, and it just encourages her world.
So I love that. 'Cause when the aha moment happens and it's like, oh, I can do this, and I don't have to like get a whole bunch of training and spend a whole bunch of time. I can actually take this step and begin to impact the people God has called me to. I just love that. And she's so amazing anyway. I mean, Patty is just like a hoot. So for her to just take her voice and use it in social media with short blogs, they're micro blogs that just, I mean, I'm beside myself seeing the fruit of what we did at Proclaim, what God did. We didn't do it. We just like set it up and he showed up.
Right. Well, one of the big things we did at Proclaim that is a little bit different than any other writer and speaker conference I've been to is that we really provided ways to connect. And I loved hearing the women that were there just dialoguing about how amazed they were that faculty would want to sit down and invest in them every session. And so doing those small groups, doing those round tables with the faculty hosts, the hands-on workshops, those all brought just so much value to the women who attended, and friendships that are going to last forever. So and we wanted, go ahead.
I was just going to say what we did there, we will, as closely as we can get, replicate that kind of connection, even though it's virtual. And any of you who have come to our other virtual conferences and 5-day challenges and boot camps know that's a big deal for us to have that connection happening. And so I'm just excited to see how God's going to do it again in the virtual conference and just provide the atmosphere for those meaningful connections to be made, those divine appointments.
For sure. And I think that it happens really once you sign up and we open our Facebook group, because those connections, we start getting to know each other, so that by the time the conference begins, we already have a connection, and then it's just a natural part of the flow of what the conference affords us. So we have a special guest today.
Yes, we do. And she is our queen of connections, and that is Micah, who is on the Redemption Press team as director of acquisitions. And her smile just lights up the room, whether it's a virtual room or a real room. Let me just say, I always am encouraged when I'm around Micah. And
thank you.
So Micah, introduce yourself and what you do for Redemption Press. And then since you're in charge of the connections at the virtual conference, I want to just we're going to just go through some questions, but first introduce yourself.
Yes. Well, I'm Micah, and I am the director of acquisitions for Redemption Press. So what that means is I get the most awesome opportunity to talk to authors every single day who have a call on their life and a vision, and I get to help them bring that vision to fruition. And I love that. So thank you, Athena. I love being part of the team.
Well, it's been a delight to have you. It's been over a year already, right?
Yes, I know.
Crazy. All right. So the first question I want to ask you is, what is the importance of connection at a virtual conference?
Oh, well, there's a lot there. So I think it's really just so much. I mean, I remember for me, when I first felt the call to write and speak, I did it. And I was like, I don't know anybody who writes, as an author, in my hometown. So when I first went to my first writers conference, and it was in person, but I felt like, oh, I found my people, right? Like I never had met anyone who really felt like that before. And it was kind of funny too, because there was a time when I thought, I'm a little unique, but actually when I got around these other people, I was like, wow, we all have kind of some of these same characteristics that really are, gifts and traits to write and speak for God. And so I would say, the same thing is true with a virtual conference, right? These are your people, and you need them in your corner. You need them for, they end up being mentors and friends who can encourage you along the way, people you can talk to when things maybe are hard, who, other people maybe wouldn't understand what you're even talking about. And we've seen that, right, from so many of our virtual conferences and conferences, is just these tight connections that come together and stay together throughout their journey of writing and speaking for Him.
And I'll tell you what I think is, it's the same feeling you get when you have this crisis in your life, whether it's you lost someone you love, or you have a special needs child, or you've got something that is really, you're not even sure what, you don't know what you don't know, and you just feel lost. And then all of a sudden you get in a small group with other whatever moms who have kids like that, or widows or widowers or whatever, and it's all of a sudden, I'm not alone.
Right.
These people understand me. It's the same thing.
Yes, that is exactly how I felt. I was like, oh, I'm not weird. I'm not alone. These people, they have this same call. And it was so great. So, yes.
So how does the She Writes for Him virtual conference actually do that, create those connections, and help the women who come actually make that happen?
Yes. Well, it's very intentional. We have 3 really different ways of helping this happen on a virtual platform. So first, we have our Zoom Connect groups. So this is kind of like being able to go out to eat with someone after, or have a conversation with the other attendees after some of the sessions where you might have had some of those aha moments like we just talked about, and you can talk with other people about it and gain that encouragement, and also get to know these people, exchange information with them, find people who are near you. That does happen. And so that's one great way, is we're going to have both kind of West Coast Zoom groups and East Coast Zoom groups, really to help there. There's a 4-hour swing in our country. So really to help facilitate that everybody can be a part of those. So that's one. And then the other is this year we're going to have intensive sessions with our faculty that are really geared towards having the faculty be able to be live and answer live questions. So it's not a recording of your training information. It's really a live session so that you can ask the questions that are relevant to you at that exact time. And so that's what we think that will be a lot more like going to a conference in person and being able to, raise your hand and ask a question like you would if you were live.
Nice. And then, so the workshop options we're all going through those together, right? And then don't we have like Q&A at the end of each one? So we're able to unpack some of what we just learned and clarify.
Yes. And that's the third way. So it was really this idea of, again, like going through a workshop so that you are there again with the trainer. And it's not it's good. It's a lot more hands-on training where you can actually, like if it's an instant, you can be following along on your computer and learning how to do these things live. So we think that will really help as well. And that will bring in, some people, we've seen this from the audience, sometimes have great tips, the people there, because they use these platforms or these ways of connecting with their audience. And they can give each other great tips around time-saving ways that they have found in the past as well.
I love that. So definitely a lot of intentionality on providing opportunities for the attendees to connect and really glean some powerful tools. So Micah, what is your role in the connecting process for this conference?
Ooh, this is so exciting. I get to run along with my really good friend and coworker, Becky, who couldn't join us today, but is definitely my partner in connections, intentional connections. We are going to facilitate the Zoom groups. So I'm going to facilitate the West Coast because I'm in Colorado, so a little more west. And Becky's going to facilitate the East Coast groups because she's on the East Coast. So it makes good sense for us as well. And so we get the awesome opportunity we did last year too, and we get the awesome opportunity to do it again. We had so much fun last year in these connection groups. And this year, we're also going to be facilitating a lot of the intensives and workshops as well. Just being there again to intentionally facilitate the connections along with the training and hands-on workshops.
Nice. So share a story or experience from one of the past conferences.
Yes. Oh, this is my favorite one. It's from the Zoom groups, the Connect groups from last year. And it was just so funny. We were all talking and two of the people in the Zoom group, connection group, realized they lived like a block away from each other. They never met each other. They were both at the virtual conference. They'd never met each other. Both felt this call to write for God. And they just became like really good friends, and they started doing coffee and stuff like that because they were so close to each other but had never met each other. So that's just my favorite story.
Absolutely. Who knew? That's one of our biggest prayers as we work up to a conference, divine connections. Yes. And God loves to answer that prayer. I mean, he does it in such creative ways like that.
Yes.
For a neighbor. Oh my gosh. Well, Micah, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing that piece of the conference, because it definitely, I think, adds so much value. So thank you so much, my friend.
Yes, I'll see you all there. So excited. Thank you for having me.
Yay. Yes, yes. All right. So I'm back with Miss Yellow Girl, and she's going to talk a little bit about the theme of our event, and go for it.
Yeah.
Carol.
So when we were coming up with this theme, we were just, asking God, like, where are we going next? Because we've had so many different events with different with a different focus, and the term greater things kept coming because so many of us have been connected for so long, and God's doing this work in our life, but to be able to really trust him for even more, because we're told in Ephesians 3, he wants to give us immeasurably more than what we can ask or think. And so this idea of greater things and trusting God with our calling. So often we find ourselves discouraged, and things come into our life, things people say, things our own mind plays over and over again, and it affects the way that we serve and the way that we move forward. And so to trust God that he is truly leading us where we believe he is. And so Athena, I would love for you to give just answer this question, like what's one way that you have needed to trust God in your calling when things have seemed uncertain?
Well, that's a very relevant, I would say is the proper word, relevant question, because just this week, and actually kind of end of last week, working into this week, just like there were some huge needs. And I had just promised God 3 years ago, you know what? I'm never going to go open a line of credit. I'm not going to go borrow a bunch of money, because then I don't know if I'm like, if you're fixing my problem or if I'm playing God. And not to, and I'm not saying that anytime you borrow money, you're playing God. Okay. So let me just make that clear. But I felt like God had asked me to just trust him, that even when it looks like, I don't know how you are going to do this, God, but I trust you that if I will wait, that you will provide. And some of you saw my please wait that was on the screen when I was flying home from North Carolina. And it was just so like such a sweet kiss on the cheek reminder from God. Yes, this is me talking to you. Please wait. And I hate to wait. Just saying. I'm also married to a man who hates to wait. Like standing in line. Oh my gosh, he does not like waiting. So it was just like I had a chuckle and go, okay, God, I am going to trust you in this. And part of it, I could tell it was a test. It was a refining moment in my life, because right in the middle of saying, okay, God, I am not going to go get ahead of you and make this thing happen, because as a business person, I can do that very easily. But even in the midst of it, God allowed this person to come who would have spent significant money to be a sponsor. And when I did my due diligence and said, okay, is this someone I want to put in front of our She Writes for Him audience, that gathering of women, do I feel like this is a good someone I could say, yes, you really want to work with this person, or you really want to check them out? I have to feel good about that. And the more I looked, the more I saw kind of well, you can be an Amazon bestseller in 2 minutes, and you can have your book in print in 60 days, and I'm a bestseller coach, and I just was like, I don't care how much money you have, I can't say, yeah, I can't do that in good conscience. I cannot do that. So it was like God always seems to do that, I think, when he turns off the money to get my attention, and then here is this temptation to take the easy way out. And I just said, sorry, we're not a good fit for you. And thank you for your interest, but you're just not a good fit. We don't want to encourage the women that God has entrusted us with get rich quick schemes. That was kind of what it felt like to me. And so it was like a day and a half before the actual need was like, that was the drop dead deadline. God provided over and above, out of nowhere, what we needed. And it was just like, yes.
I enjoyed to be and was a joy to be part of that story and that transition as we were praying. But I think what I love most is that, Athena, you are so wise in that you do fully seek God in every decision that you make, and to say no to something that would have been an easy fix because it wasn't what we would promote or want to stand behind just speaks volumes. It totally makes me so proud to be a part of what Redemption Press is doing, and She Writes for Him, because we want to do everything that only brings God glory. And He loves when we sit patiently and wait for Him, because our timing is not His. He was already there. He was already in Thursday of this week. He knew what was going to be provided. He just wanted us to trust. So thank you for sharing that.
It was a wonderful growth experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Did you have anything else about that, or was...
I think that was just
okay. Good.
Yep, I think that was it. I mean, I could go on and on, but I don't know.
Well, we will have lots of opportunity during the conference to talk about the greater things that God is calling us to, and how we are trusting, because oftentimes we can trust greater because we look back and see He's never failed us. He is always faithful. Hey, that sounds like a tagline.
Hey, that was a radio show I had.
So we have some amazing things that are going to be happening at this event that are new and that are, just something out of the ordinary. And one of them is our bookstore grand opening. Athena, do you want to tell them a little bit about the bookstore? Just some of the...
Yeah, I would love to. And I get to go pick up the keys today. When I'm done with this, I get to go get the keys. This is over 100-year-old. Yeah, last year was the 100-year anniversary of this building on the main corner in historic downtown Enumclaw. It's the old Enumclaw Bank. And it is the coolest building with the big beams in the ceiling. And I mean, it is my dream come true for a bookstore. And I worked on the Enumclaw Downtown Partnership many, many, many years ago with the owners of that building. And I had reached out to them probably 2 years ago when she closed down the front of that building, which was kind of where she had a store that sold just, earrings and jewelry and apparel and just all sorts of cards and just all sorts of things. And that was kind of the space that would have been perfect for a bookstore. And I remember reaching out to Peggy and saying, I don't know what you're going to do after you're all cleaned out of here, but I would love to be able to rent this space. And I mean, we were just right across the street from it, kitty corner. It's not like we were very far, but just the difference in foot traffic and so many things. And she said, well, I think it's already spoken for. Someone already said and gave us money that whenever we're ready to rent, they want it. And then, I don't know, 6 months ago, she reached out and said, well, that fell through. Do you still want it? Like, yes. So super, super excited.
It is exciting. And we were just at CPE and they have all the vendors there, and we were able to really navigate some fun things for the bookstore. So I'm excited for all that to come in. Look what Stacy wrote. So fun you're getting your keys. Yay. Good one, God.
Yes.
So at our bookstore grand opening, which is going to be the Friday night of the virtual conference, or Friday evening, it'll start about 5 o'clock Pacific time. We are going to have an amazing author come and speak, and virtually, and it's Tessa Ashfar. And Athena, I know that you love this author, and so I'm excited to have her as well. But Mary Maycomer says, no one brings the Bible to life like Tessa. So do you want to tell us a little bit about who Tessa is?
I have been reading her books for probably the last 6 or 8 months. So she's new to me, but I'll give you just a little bit of her bio. She was born in the Middle East and lived there for the first 14 years of her life. And she then moved to England, and she survived boarding school for girls. Ooh, I know what that's like. And fell in love with Jane Austen and Charlotte Bronte before moving to the United States permanently. And her conversion to Christianity in her 20s changed the course of her life forever. She holds a Master of Divinity from Yale, where she was elected as the co-chair of the Evangelical Fellowship at the Divinity School for 1 year. And she has served in women and prayer ministries for 20 years. I don't know. Do you want to finish her bio on your end, Carol?
Yeah, that's fine. What I love about Tessa is she is such a personal person, even just through email. Like, I have fallen in love with her, and she is a devoted wife. She loves to cook. She's a mediocre gardener. Wow, that's better than I am. And she loves chocolate. So we'll have to have chocolate there. I hear Jen is a master cupcake maker, so maybe she can make some chocolate cupcakes for our event. So Athena, what kind of books does she write, and what do you like about them?
They're literary biblical fiction. And so she will like take the life of Ruth and Boaz, and just true to the text that is in the Bible, but make those characters come alive. She did Priscilla from Priscilla and Aquila. I love the way, and I never have to worry about what's going to be in there. Is it going to get a little too steamy? I don't ever have to worry about that in her novels. They're just so compelling. So here is, let's see if you can see. There we go. Well, sorry.
You can see it.
All right, good. So that's In the Field of Grace, which is about Ruth. And that's when I am off and I want to just unwind and just not think about work. That's what I read. I read Tessa Ashfar. So when we were starting to book Proclaim and speakers, I reached out to her, and for some reason it went to junk mail. She never got it. And then I think our Moody, because she's a Moody author, Judy reached out to her. And so she got back to me and just said, I'm so sorry. What can I do to be involved? She's super excited. And I just love that. She is going to be speaking on that Friday night, writing or speaking from our scars. So I am super excited to have her. And yeah, well, maybe I will tell this now. April 1st, right? That's when we're having our big celebration for the new bookstore, and it's right in the middle of our conference. That is a very full circle moment for me, because it was on April 1st, 2010, that I allowed my publishing company to go out of my hands. And yeah, so pretty cool.
That's a big celebration.
Yeah,
for sure.
Woo!
See God, just what He has done. So we were going to celebrate big. Now we'll have to celebrate a little bit bigger. I love it. So I hope that you all are planning to attend the virtual conference. We have made it so affordable, so anyone can be a part of it. I'm going to share with you right now the packages that we have. And the way that you can do that is just going to shewritesforhimconference.com, and you can register today. We have 3 packages. We have the basic package, which gives you access to the 3-day conference, which is from 8 to 6. You get to be a part of all 5 keynotes, actually 6 keynotes, because when I did this, we didn't have the bookstore opening keynoter on there. So there's 6 keynotes. I need to change that. 18 different trainings, and then the Zoom Connect groups that are both East Coast and West Coast, as well as being part of that bookstore virtual grand opening. And we will have people live in the studio for that, doing some sharing with their books. We'll talk through what that'll look like later on, so you'll know. And then we do obviously have the private Facebook page. Now, the Deluxe package, which is $97, includes everything in the basic, but you also get the afternoon sessions. So the afternoon sessions around lunchtime, well, lunchtime on the West Coast, include the intensive sessions, which are going to be Zoom sessions where it's interactive with the faculty, as well as the Zoom workshops. So there's going to be different workshops that you can pick during that time and interact, kind of like what we did on the Roar Conference if you attended that. And then you will have access to the entire conference for 6 months. So if for some reason you have to miss some sessions, or if you are part of one workshop but you wanted to see the other 2, you'll have access for all of them. And then what we want to do is we want to reconnect you after the conference with a mastermind session that will be 90 minutes for a small group with some of our faculty. Last, we have the premium, which is everything in the basic and the deluxe, but you get 4 mastermind groups, which will be amazing. And it's always so good because you're so inspired after a conference to go out and be able to know there's going to be more that's coming my way so that I can continue in this training and in this encouragement, as well as we want to help promote you. So you're going to get a page or an 1/8 of a page in the conference book. You can promote your book to everyone. You can promote a service that you provide, your ministry. If you're doing an event and you want to, promote that, whatever you'd like to promote, we will put that in the booklet so everyone will know. And then you get access for an entire year to all the conference materials. So,
now, what about the VIP?
I'm getting to it. Here we go. I totally forgot. There we go. We have the VIP, and if you were part of the VIP party last year, we had a lot of fun, didn't we?
We did.
It was super fun. So what happens at the VIP party is you're going to get a box in the mail, and in that box is a bunch of gifts for you, books, t-shirts, surprises, because we put on an amazing event that you're going to need all these things that are going to come in your box. We open the box together, and then we connect, and we just have a ton of fun with your conference host. So Christina will be there, and Kanita and Shelly Brown, and we will have a great time just connecting, and you'll get to be in on who's at the conference early and connect with them as well. So, but you need to sign up early because we got to get the boxes made. We got to get the right t-shirt sizes for you. We need to get everything out and in the mail so that you have your box in time for the conference.
Yes. So we learned last year that we need a longer lead time because one person didn't actually get their box in time. And we want to make sure you have it. So,
and we love people in Canada, but if you want a box, it's going to cost a little bit more because it costs us a ton. The boxes are expensive enough to ship, but then to get it to Canada is like astronomical. So, but we still want to get you one. So make sure that you register early so we can make sure that happens.
So they need to sign up by March 8th in order to be part of the VIP. And if you wait till March 8th, it might be too late because first come, first serve, right?
There's only 50 people that are allowed. And if you sign up after March 8th, you can probably still be part of the VIP, but you may not get your box on time. That's one of the big things. So you won't have the stuff to celebrate with us.
All right. So here's another special that we are offering. If you sign up today
through March 15th.
Okay. So we got a 17 or 18 day window. You will also get a pre-conference webinar that we are holding on March 19th. It's actually for the Proclaim conference. These are some of the faculty that had to cancel at the last minute. And so we were able to get their content that they're going to teach and have it on the 19th of March. So if you sign up between now and the 15th, you will get to, and you were not at Proclaim, you will also get to come and meet Annette Reeder, who has about 250,000 followers on YouTube. And she's going to teach why everyone needs to be on YouTube and introduction on search engine optimization, specifically utilizing YouTube. Then Bethany Jett is going to teach on ghostwriting as an income source. And Courtney Richard is going to teach on building a boss blogging brand. So it is going to be an amazing day of having these women come live and teach these topics. So that is our little bonus gift to you if you sign up between now and March 15th. And even if you can't be there, you can have the videos of those 3 speakers.
Right. So that's a great incentive to sign up early. We'd love to have you be a part of that. Teresa asked the question about being a VIP, and she didn't take that option. So if you've already signed up for the conference and you're like, oh, I really want to do the VIP, will you just send me an email? And then I will make sure that Shelly gets it so that she can get you on that list and invoiced for that. So you can be a part of the VIP event.
So I just put in the
awesome
where you can go to sign up. And yes, if you already signed up and you didn't do the VIP, but now you see the value of it, we can get you in.
For sure. It's going to be a party.
It is. I'm telling you, with Kanita and Christina and Shelly and Yellow Girl and me and who knows who else in that brand new space in the bookstore, it is going to be amazing. So we are just over the moon excited about it. And let me just say, we would love if you would all share this all over social media, because doing Facebook ads is like pouring money down the toilet, really. I mean, it's just, they don't really work very well anymore. And we don't want to waste money on that, especially with that low entry price that we have this year. We just want to get as many women to join us. So if you would all share the link and invite everyone you know, it's going to be amazing.
It is. I'm super excited. So it'll be fun.
All right. So go ahead.
You can go through the people.
I am going to do that. Teresa and Casey Burnett, nice to see you. And Miss Christina England, nice to see you. And the faculty made you feel seen. See, isn't that, that just blew me away to watch at Proclaim these, I mean, powerful women sitting around the table pouring into the attendees at their table. That was so amazing. Miss Stacy, nice to see you. And let's see who else. I'm not sure who Facebook user is. Hello, ladies. But Christina Custodio, there she is, who just had her launch and an amazing launch party. Wow. I mean, just between now and then, we're going to have some stories to hear from Miss Christina and her launch. Dana, nice to see you. And Natasha, good to see you, my friend. And Miss Shelly Brown. So I did my romper room thing. I see you all.
I think I'm going to get you a magnifying glass so that you can.
That's what we need. I need my romper room magnifying glass.
You should get one of those. So yeah, so we will be on live again next Thursday. We're going to have some faculty with us. You can meet them. And we're just going to promote and just really encourage you as we move forward so that we can see God do greater things as we trust him in our calling.
So, Lord, thank you right now for the ladies that are watching and for those who are going to watch the replay. I pray a blessing on them and just whatever next step you have for them. We hope it's going to be to come to the Greater Things She Writes for Him virtual conference. But whatever it is, we want you to just bless them as they walk in obedience. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, everybody. We love you.
Love you.
Mwah. Bye for now.